because right now you're probably operating as if you need to convince people to work with you, and you absolutely don't. What you need to do is speak to your audience as if your work is already insanely valuable, because it is. But if you don't believe that down to your bones, it'll be hard to sell working with you for 6 months.
Welcome to Did I Stutter with Jill Perick. And yeah, I probably did because I have a stuttering disability. But I'm also a multiple six-figure business and mindset coach who's here to help you shut down the mindfuckery of imposter syndrome, self-doubt, and playing the nice girl in your content so you and your brand can blow the fuck up and so you can stack the motherfucking cash. I'm holding absolutely nothing back. We're talking marketing, messaging, mindset, subconscious healing, nervous system regulation, and how to do it all even with raging anxiety, ADHD, and just being a fucking human. If fuck is one of your favorite words and nothing can get in between you, your iced coffee, or the work that you're here to do, I'm your girl. Let's dive in.
All right, motherfuckers, happy Wednesday when you're listening to this. You know what's hilarious is I am literally recording this episode a day before it comes out because shit's been going on. I've been in Italy. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Been working with my clients, and my VA slacked me last night. She's like, "Hey, Joe, where's the podcast for this week?" And I was like, "Fuck, I knew I forgot something." So come into your ear holes while I'm on my evening walk, and there is a high chance I'm going to get rained on, but that's okay. So my mastermind. So the Real Deal Mastermind, you know what it is. My pride and joy has made $40K cash since January. This is just my mastermind. That is no one-to-ones, that's no intensives, that's no mini programs, just strictly my mastermind, which is a high ticket container, has made $40K in cash since January. Now, here's the thing. This isn't just about like selling a mastermind. This truly is about selling high ticket services, because a lot of people come into this space and they get very comfortable selling things that are like $200, $300, $500. And the thing is, to really stack recurring income, high ticket is where it's fucking at. And I will say that till the cows come home. But the difficult thing about high ticket is it takes an entirely different sense of self. It takes a change in your beliefs. And it takes a lot of work to really get behind selling your high ticket spaces. Also, if I sound plugged up, it's because I'm literally still sick after catching whatever I caught after coming home from fucking Italy. Like, we caught something and I don't know what the hell it was, but I think it was COVID. Like, it was bad. I couldn't taste, I couldn't smell, I had the shakes, had the whole flu. It was crazy. And like, I'm still a little bit stuffed up and like coffee, which is crazy. Anyways, speaking of coffee, I was in heaven in Italy. And why hasn't North America, there's a nice big dog there. Why hasn't North America acclimated to like espresso being the coffee? Like, you know how you go to like a hotel and they have like drip coffee? In hotels in Italy, it's like you just get a cappuccino and there's espresso and that's the coffee. And I fucking loved it. As a certified Nespresso girly, I love my Nespresso. I will continue to drink espresso until the cows come home. I just loved it so much. Okay. So ultimately, you want to be able to sell high ticket because it is going to be the foundation of your business. It is going to be the bread and butter of your business. So here's how you can get behind selling out your high ticket long-term spaces so you can stack your sales and do more of the work that you're fucking obsessed with. Because that's the thing, right? Is high ticket spaces, like, they allow you to go deeper with your client. They allow you to spend more time with your client. And having clients and working with clients creates more clients because you have more ideas. You're actually doing the work you're obsessed with. So even though there's no like dopamine hit slot machine kind of thing when it comes to selling low ticket things, high ticket things. Sorry. It can feel like a dopamine hit and like a slot machine when you have low ticket things because they're easy to sell and you can sell anybody at any time. But then the customer journey kind of ends there. The customer journey fucking begins when somebody invests in a high ticket space with you. So let's talk about it. The first thing that you need to do here is, if it's hard for you to get behind high ticket sales, you need to excavate your own money stories expeditiously. And you need to set those motherfuckers free. What I mean by that is you probably have the classic stories around nobody has money, the economy is bad. Perhaps when you were being raised by your parents, you had some situations where they said like, oh, like nobody can afford that, or this is hard to afford, or this is expensive. Whatever fucking stories you have around people being able to afford things, we need to wipe the slate clean. We need to think differently. And even in saying that, it's not about wiping the slate clean and just like pretending like those thoughts don't exist. It's actually about you choosing a different thought. You choosing a different thought and you choosing a different belief when it comes to people spending. Because here's the thing, people spend on things that they deem important, that they deem valuable. When they desire something enough, it becomes, how can I figure this out? Because truly, I think that there is a world where people have heaps of cash specifically for your offers saved in an account. Like I've had clients say like, I've been saving up for this for a long time, blah, 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 blah. But if you're anything like me, it's not that I have the intention and then I invest in like a year. I am somebody who like, okay, this is something that I desire. This is something that I really, really fucking want. So I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to pull from whatever resources I have. So the chances are it's not that people don't have the money. Like 9 times out of 10, it's not that they don't have the money. It's that they don't see it as important. They are not deeming your offer more valuable than holding on to that money. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. We just need to find ways to get them to see that it actually is what they need and what they want. So you need to start changing your beliefs to suit this fucking story. That people can afford your work and that they want to fucking work with you and that they'll figure it out when they deem it important. Stop trying to stick your head in everybody's fucking wallets and stop deciding to lower your rate or be cheaper, because then you'll actually attract those people who are only purchasing because you lowered the rate. And that becomes a whole other problem. There's definitely going to be people who see that you're selling something for cheaper or there's a discount. And I think that those things have their place in terms of like an incentive or a discount or a sale. Absolutely. But if you're always doing it and if you're just doing it because you have the thought that like people can't afford me and I need to charge less, that actually means that you need to get yourself out of whatever mindset or story that you are telling yourself about other people's fucking finances. It actually means that you need to expand your environment a bit more and like get into rooms, get into places where people do spend that kind of money, truthfully, because people have money. They have lots of it and they're spending it every single day. And you need to be in that belief, okay? That also means that you need to be in the belief that people are going to spend whatever it is on you and your work. And of course, we're going to get into that. But ultimately, you need to excavate the stories that you tell yourself around money. And that means maybe going back and doing some of that preliminary like money mindset work that you did at the beginning of your business. Or you like joined that workshop or you read that book, right? Because sometimes we think we're over a belief and then a new situation comes up and it can trigger us. Like I like to explain it, and I explained it this way in You're Not Special, which is my book that you can get on Amazon. And I explained it in the way of like old thoughts and beliefs are like train tracks, and there can be train tracks in your brain where like they're shut down. There's weeds that have grown over them, but sometimes a new event or a circumstance can kind of like light those suckers back up, and you have to then do the work to reframe that old belief and steer yourself back to the new one. Okay, so that's the first. Okay, fucking duh. You need to actually see the value in working with you, because right now you're probably operating as if you need to convince people to work with you, and you absolutely don't. What you need to do is speak to your audience as if your work is already insanely valuable, because it is. But if you don't believe that down to your bones, it'll be hard to sell working with you for 6 months. Like, this was probably the biggest block that I saw whenever somebody would come to me and start their business, and they're like, I just started, I'm going to do 6 months of working with me. And they just had no self-belief, which is a big reason why they came to work with me. But then they were surprised if it took like a year to sign a client. And it's because, yeah, baby, if you don't have any belief in yourself, but you're trying to charge $3,000 for 6 months of one-to-one coaching with you, it's not the fact that it's $3,000. It's that you have never asked for $30,000 in your life from any human before. And it's also the fact that you don't have any fucking belief in yourself. You would not pay to be close to you for 6 months. So you need to really think about that too. Is like, if I get really honest with myself about the value of the work that I do I really believe that the work that I do is of high fucking value? That is the question that you need to fucking ask yourself, because a lot of people would say it's not. A lot of people would be like, oh, like, I just can't get behind that. And that's what you need to change. You need to actually see the value in being close to your brain, be like having access to you, having access to your expertise, your experience, and everything that you are, and everything that you can do for your client, everything that you can help them achieve. Okay, because obviously you're not doing the work for them. It's about coaching them, it's about supporting them to get the very clear outcome that you help them get. And I hope that you are also being clear about, these are the outcomes and the transformations that you get when you work with me. Okay, so actually see the value in fucking working with you. That's number 2. Number 3 is show them what transformation can happen when there is ongoing support, repetition, refinement, and being held through multiple seasons. Because that is what long-term work actually looks like. It is not just, oh, we're going to get on a call and we're going to do X, Y, Z and you're going to be golden. It really is. And also not just seeing the value in you and your work, it's seeing the value in like long-term work, seeing the value in deeper work, in the mindset work, in the identity work, in the shit that you're actually going to be getting into. Okay, if you have this hang up around strategy, around like, I just need to tell them what to do and that's the only important thing, and you don't have any belief in like long-term support, this is where being your own greatest client also comes into play. Because if you are not investing in long-term support, and you never have, or you don't see the importance, and you have like sneaky beliefs like, oh, like you don't really need to invest in somebody long term, like you actually have that thought, but yet you're trying to get people into 3 month, 6 month, and 12-month containers, like that just ain't gonna fly. You become an entirely different person when you have long-term support. Like, I can't even begin to describe the identity transformation, the business transformation, the results that I've had over the last year that I have been in the same container for. And that has always been true. Like, anytime I invested in like 6 months or a year, it has always been so fucking transformative. And it's hard to explain sometimes, but that's why I think you need to actually experience it. And I think that that also helps with the authenticity and the congruence when it comes to that. But most of all, it really is about you just being able to convey the fact that there is so much transformation and fucking value in long-term support, and what that transformation looks like for the work that you do over a long period of time. So show your audience what's possible when you have a client for 3 months, for 6 months, for 12 months, right? And then the last thing, which is also fucking duh, is assume you're the fucking shit and people want to work with you. Okay? If you're not obsessed with yourself, why the fuck would anybody else be? You need to be so obsessed with how you do things, with your work, with how you show up with your life, because that really gives off like a magnetic frequency. That gives off congruency, authenticity, when you're obsessed with everything that you're doing, when you're aligned, when you trust yourself, it is very obvious. And I mean, that's the work that I do with clients all the time. Is it's something that is so felt, but you can't always tangibly grab onto it, is the fact that like when you see somebody who really trusts themselves and who's just having a good fucking time and is enjoying their life and is enjoying what they're doing and is trusting the process as well, and they're not hopping from like offer to offer trying to see what works, and they actually look excited to be talking to you when they do reels instead of looking scared shitless, right? Like there is a different frequency that somebody has when they trust themselves and when they believe in themselves, and that honestly I think starts with being obsessed with yourself and being obsessed with your life. And I am somebody that like that does not come easy to. I have a very complicated brain, and I can always think of all the things that are going wrong, all the thoughts in my head of why I don't know how to do this or who am I to say that, like that shit. And that is the reason why I coached so hard in the beginning on fucking imposter syndrome, is because I felt it so deeply and it affected everything I did. And I was like, does it really matter if we change our thoughts? Like, does it really matter if you change your frequency? Like, what is that going to do? And it completely changed my entire life. Like really thinking different thoughts about myself, believing in myself, believing that things were going to work out for me. These are things that really changed how I showed up. It changed my energy. And then I also, like, I have seen in a lot of circumstances where I've had bouts of like really bad seasonal depression or hard times in my life. And like, I can see literally when I stop believing in everything I'm doing, the income goes down. So I've had this realization a couple times now, and I've learned what I need to do to stay on top of that, even as a human that has a real life, real anxiety, real depression, and learning how to still be magnetic online and learning how to stay in that frequency. Because you can be depressed and you can still be obsessed with yourself. You can be depressed and anxious and still be like, I fucking choose myself every single day. Okay. Jeez. Did we get them all? I think we did. You're the fucking shit. And people want to work with you. And they're just as obsessed with you as you are with yourself. And I need you to really look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that, like, would I hire me? Would I, at this point in time, hire me and work with me and do this work? Am I obsessed with the work that I would be doing with clients right now? And then go and do that shit. Go and do it. Go and show up for it. Go and sell your offer today. Go and do all the things, because your work is important and it's necessary, and it's work that we need in the industry. It's work that we need in the world. And I have an exciting offer that is coming up called the Double Standard. You guys are getting a sneak peek in this, but it's in very preliminary stages right now. I'm working on it and I will be releasing it to the public next week. So I'm very excited about that. And as always, you can join the Real Deal Mastermind. You can join one-to-one coaching. My rates will be going up as of July. So if you're ready, you've been sitting on it, this is your time.